Today we will talk about the appointment of the Supreme Court judges. As you know, what happened? Why news? Because recently the Collegium, actually SC Collegium recommended the 8 judges and one lawyer, total the 9 judges to appoint as a Supreme Court judge, including the 3 women. So that's why the appointment of Supreme Court judges or the Collegium is in news. So what happened that in which out of the 3 women, what happened? One from the Gujarat and Karnataka and other from one other chief justices. So Karnataka High Court Judge VM Nagarnathna has a chance to become the first women chief justice of India by 2026 to 2027. So this is very important because India has never been a women chief justice of India. So three women now recently recommended by the Collegium shows that now the strong representative needed in the Supreme Court and shows the women empowerment so in the Supreme Court. So that's why. So how we will proceed in this video? Actually we will discuss the procedure, actually how appointment will take place and what is the procedure, under which article and who appointed, and then we will talk about the removal of the SC judges, how actually SC judges removed. So what is the procedure? So we will discuss. So firstly we need to remember that SC judges is appointed by the President of India, including the Chief Justice of India as well as the other Chief Justices, and even the High Court judges is also appointed by the President, and the Chief Justices of India and the SC judge is appointed under the Article 124(2). So this is the very important, and this appointment actually recommended by the Collegium. So now we will understand the procedure. So if we talk about the procedure, then the Collegium consists of the 5 members. So 5 members is the first is the itself the Chief Justice of India, which is now the N.V. Ramana, and another is the 4 senior most judges. So this is the total 5 member actually seat known as the Collegium. So that is the Collegium. So we will also discuss how the Collegium evolved. So this is very important. Another is they sit and take a collective decision to recommend the name to appoint as a SC judge. So this is very important, and this recommendation go to the Ministry of Law and Justice. After the recommendation of the Collegium, which consists of 5 members including the Chief Justice of India and the 4 senior most judge of the Supreme Court. So what happened? This recommendation actually go to the Ministry of Law and Justice, which inform the Prime Minister of India, and then Prime Minister subsequently inform the President of India after the consultation with the cabinet, and when the cabinet approves that, then this Prime Minister of India actually inform the President of India, and after the finalization, what happened? Chief Justice, and this is when after the finalization of the Prime Minister, you can say the President, and when they uniform the President of India, then this lead to inform the Chief Justice of India, and who call those judges actually who has to appoint as SC judges. So this is happened, and which then lead to the appointment under Article 124 Clause 2. Remember that this is only I am talking about the Chief Justice of India to the Supreme Court and the SC judges, not the High Court. So this article only concerned with these 2 appointments. So this is by the President of India. Appointment is done by the President of India. Remember that appointment not done by the Collegium of Supreme Court, because it can be confusing. Appointment only done by the President of India. This is clearly said by the Constitution of India, and takes an oath. So this is very important. Remember that what happened that the Collegium is not a constitutional evolution, or nowhere actually mentioned in the Constitution. So how actually this Collegium actually evolved? What happened that until I think the 1971, when the Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India. So what happened? While superseding the 3 senior most judges, so what is the convention, or convention by law, you can say that the senior most judge of the Supreme Court will be appointed as the Chief Justice of India. But when the PM, at that time there is executive interference, and you have to appoint according to the executive, and this lead to that what happened? The 3 senior most judge of the Supreme Court was superseded, and Prime Minister of India actually appointed while superseding the another Chief Justice of India. So this lead to what happened? So in around the 1989 or around the 1990, what happened that Supreme Court actually curtailed the executive or discretionary power of this executive. So this led. So what happened? There are the 3 famous cases. First judge case, and second judge case and the third judge case. But what you need to remember that the second judge case, which lead to the Advocate on Record versus Union of India 1993 case, actually lead to evolution of the collegium system. What happened that here what Supreme Court said that the case, why case actually went because of the want to know that what is the consultation, because in the constitution you have to appoint with the consultation of the Chief Justice of India. So cases went actually what is the meaning of consultation. So in the Supreme Court what said that the consultation means concurrence, and what said that you have to take a concurrence of the Chief Justice of India with the two senior most judge of the Supreme Court. But in the third judge case, under article, if you look at the under article 142, what happened that under article 142 the president has the power to take advice from the Supreme Court, and this advice is only advisory in nature and not a judicial, actually you can say the judicial order, which president or executive body actually not bind to actually follow the order. So what advice that in the third cases here clearly said that the consultation means again the concurrence. But here what happened, the SC increased the collegium number, means Chief Justice of India along with the four senior most judge of the Supreme Court. So this is how, or from that time actually the 1990, you can say the 1993, the collegium system works. So this is what you can say the collegium system. There are the lack of transparency, you can say, or these are the, so this collegium system actually recommend the name, not appoint. This is very important point. Only recommend the name, not appoint the SC judges or High Court. Appointment only done by the President of India. One thing you need to remember that here the collegium recommendation actually binding on the government. What happened that appointment done by the President of India, but when collegium recommend the name, this recommendation is binding on the government. Executive has no power actually to derail the order of or derail the recommendation of collegium system. So president has only power, you can say the Prime Minister of India has only power to basically give a recommendation to look at the matter or concern the matter to the Chief Justice of India, or you can say the collegium. Just like you can say the president has the one power, you can say when the passed by the legislature, let's say some bill actually passed by the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So president has one power that once the bill is passed by the parliament, the president has the power actually to give again to the parliament to look into the matter. But when the parliament again sent to the president is bound to actually sign that bill. Same thing actually lies here. Once the recommendation went to the Ministry of Law, the collegium recommendation is bounded on the, but yes, there is one thing, president has the power actually to look into the matter, he can advise the, but when the collegium system again said that no, we are not looking at the matter, then the ministry, or you can say the, or you can say the government of India or union government is bounded to appoint the collegium recommendation judges. So this is very important. Now we will talk about removal of Supreme Court judges. So before come to removal of judges, or you can say the impeachment of judges, we have to look at the qualification, or you can say the eligibility. Eligibility means like you want to become an IAS officer, then there is eligibility that you should be a citizen of India, must be a graduate, and hold a 21 years of age. So there is a similar eligibility related to the SC judges as well as the High Court judges. So remember that he should be a citizen of India. If someone is not a citizen of India, that cannot be appointed as a SC judge. Remember that he should have a judge of High Court for 5 years. Very important that only for the 5 years for the High Court. And High Court is not mentioned, means irrespective of the High Court. If the High Court of Guwahati, if a High Court of Meghalaya, or if a High Court of Assam, High Court of Mumbai, or irrespective of thing, High Court, Chief Justice, or he should be a judge of High Court for only 5 years. Another requirement that advocate of a High Court for 10 years. Remember that in these two requirements, one requirement should be fulfilled for appointing as a judge of Supreme Court. Remember that he should be a distinguished jurist in the opinion of president. As you know, distinguished jurist in the opinion of the government, because as you know what is the president power, president can eat only without the union government permission. So distinguished jurist, you can say in the opinion of president. This is a technical word. If here is the right, the union government, that question would be wrong, or statement would be wrong. This is very important. Another thing you need to remember that no minimum age for appointment appointment, means the no minimum age for appointment of a SC judge is right down in the constitution, but hold office when until he attains the age of 65 years. This is in the this two statement itself in the constitution. So this is very important. Now come to the point of the removal of judges. So in the constitution there is the very cumbersome process, and that is the reason actually so far no high court judges and no supreme court judges has been removed from his office. So in which that the judges of the inquiry act 1968 deals with the removal of judges by way of impeachment. You can say it is a constitutional word. So now we will come to the procedure. As I have told you, Judges Inquiry Act 1968 deals with the removal of SC judges. So what happened? Removal of SC judges, what happened that a motion should be initiated in the either Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, and that motion means the initiation process lies in the houses. So this is very important, and in case of Lok Sabha that should be signed by at least 100 members. If the 100 member not signed to initiate the motion against the any of the SC judges or either is Chief Justice of India, that motion will be not admitted. Another, in case of Rajya Sabha there should be a 50 members. So this is the initiation process. So this is very important. So after this, what happened that this went to the speaker in case of Lok Sabha. As you know, the chairman of Lok Sabha is known as speaker, and the who presides over the Rajya Sabha actually known as the chairman. But here is the speaker and chairman lies the discretionary power. So this motion is initiated, but if the speaker and chairman want to refuse or admit it, it is completely a discretionary power with the speaker and chairman. As you know, the famous Deepak Misra case. So here is the Honorable Venkaiah Naidu sir actually refused to admit against the Chief Justice of India removal, when what happened, the four senior most judge of the Supreme Court actually done a press conference in the media. So this is very important. As I have told you, okay, example is the Deepak Misra case. So here is the Venkaiah Naidu actually refused to admit, and that led to the actually removal of the judges, whatever happened. So this is, now if admitted, then the 3-member committee should be constituted, which include actually the Chief Justice of India or one of the judges of Supreme Court. Remember that 3-member committee. Here is the Chief Justice of India or judge of a Supreme Court. Another is the one of the judges of High Court, and another person will be the distinguished jurist. So this is very important. Another is, if the committee that charges are legal and find wrong, then the House take up the matter and to remove the SC judges or as Supreme Court judges or High Court judges, the removal 2/3 majority, or you can say the full majority is needed. At least the 2/3 majority is needed. Means if there is a 100 member, then the 62 to 63 member has to actually sign the bill or sign the removal of the judges. So this is happened. So when this is passed by both the houses, including the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, then this went to the president, and president actually signed and notified in the Gazette of India that yes, this judge should be removed because the charges are legal and find right. So this is what is the procedure of the, actually this is applicable for both the Supreme Court judge as well as the High Court judge, including the Chief Justice of India as well as the Chief Justices of different High Court. So this is very important. So you need to remember that Article 242 actually very important, which deals with the appointment of Chief Justice of India and the SC judges. So this is very important. Thank you guys. Hope you like this video. You should subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.